system at the same time, this video is for you. Just a little backstory here. I've been in many toxic relationships, mainly with narcissists. So my nervous system is not regulated at all. I've been trying really hard to work on that. It is very hard to do that, but I am pushing through. I've done some shadow work, inner child work, stuff like that, which has helped me release those things in the past, those past traumas, which is helping regulate the nervous system. So I believe, from my perspective, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any formal training in this, but this is just from my experience. Nervous system, you need that regulated to a certain degree before you can start living a simple life. A simple life to me is being calm, living intentionally, just living slower. You're not having to, be on the go and doing everything fast, fast, fast. Um, it's about taking a bit of a step back, from social media. It's about doing things with intention, really focusing on things that help calm your mind and your body. Um, if your body's tense, your mind's going to be tense, and the other way around. So, as we age, we really need to focus on these things about keeping ourselves calm and regulating our nervous system and just living a better life. So, as I said, I have a history of being in narcissistic relationships. So that was all built on chaos and just all sorts of drama, and it was just horrible. So obviously, my nervous system's not going to be regulated, and I'm really focusing on regulating my nervous system and getting to a point where I'm just, a calmer person. I don't react as much. Um, and so I can get to a place in life where I am, having a nice, slower, enjoyable life. Hi, I see that you are from India. How are you doing there? What time is it in India? I am Cindy, and I am from Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. So, hello, I see everybody on, and thank you so much for stopping on. Thanks for the likes. And if you're into nervous system, living a slower life, and stuff like that, maybe subscribe. I have more of that. If you're here for nervous system stuff, please put nervous system in the comments. If if you're here for simple living, put simple living in the comments. So what I'm discussing today is how they both come together, nervous system and simple living. I don't believe you can live a simple life if your nervous system is totally not regulated. Hi, animation team, and hello. 11:44. It is, mine says it's 11:15 here. So you're in the PM and I'm in the morning time. So what we're discussing, I see people coming on and jumping off and stuff. We're talking about simple living and nervous system. So please drop in the comments nervous system. If you want to learn about nervous system, then I can make content more about that, as I am going through that in my own life. And if you're here and want stuff on simple living, please put simple living in the comments and I can do more about that. I'm sort of learning about nervous system and simple living together. As I said, I cannot see that you can have a simple life if your nervous system um, is not regulated. How can you be calm and stuff when your nervous system isn't regulated? So I do see some saying nervous system in the comments. English, you have weak English, that's okay. Just watching people, that helps your English and understanding. So that, that's great to listen to people who do speak English. So, this is the last part of my series, and how can you improve your nervous system? I do have some things. I did a 5-part series, and this is the fifth one. So the other ones will be linked. Um, I'll link them below so you can look at those. So what I've done for my nervous system is I did something really, really hard, and that was looking at patterns. I was in narcissistic relationships, and I had to figure out, why was I in these relationships? Why was I always picking the same type of people? It wasn't the same person, but it was the exact same type of people every single time. And I had to figure out, why was I doing this? Why was I continuing to pick people who treated me like shit? Sorry for swearing, but there's no other way of putting it. Why did I keep doing this? There was something in me that was having, you know, picking these people. So I had to look back, and I went back, in my life, and it started in childhood. So I had to heal my inner child. It all started with my father, who didn't accept me because I'm a female. He made it known that I was not accepted from a very, very young age. Him and my mom had separated, but I would go and visit him and whatnot. But he made it known that he did not like me because I was a female. So all of my life, I went through trying to um, get approval from people who, I had to try to have the approval. Whereas with a regulated nervous system, you're not trying to do anything for anybody else. You are having your own life, and you're enough. So I had to go back, and I had to, um, figure all that out, go through the pain, go through the motions of it all. And it was really, really hard, but it was well worth it. And now, since I've gotten through that trauma and I have dealt with it, I realized those things were not my fault. It had nothing to do with me. I was just a little child. Um, so when you do take the time back and go back, it shows you that most of the baggage and things that are keeping you stuck are not your fault. It's somebody else that is doing it to you. So that's where you need to be, you need your understanding to be, is that it's not your fault. And then since then, now I've been working on like, what can I do in my life to live a calmer life, to regulate my nervous system? And that's things like, I've stopped scrolling. I used to be on my phone constantly, and that's part of trauma. You need the constant dopamine hits. It's because you've been in a chaotic world. Like, my whole life was chaotic. So I needed those dopamine hits constantly. Um, and it just got so negative that I had to stop. I had to stop scrolling. I had to take some time away from being online so much, and just taking time and relaxing and finding things that I could do on my own. Plus, decluttering the house, getting things in order. When you look around the house and there's clutter here and there, that triggers in your brain, um, I should be up doing this. I should be doing that. I should, and it just messes with your mind. So decluttering, the there's things like, I started doing crafts. I do all sorts of different crafts. I've started going out to different things. Last night, my daughter and I went to a candlelight thing where they have people playing violins, and they're doing ABBA. I don't know if anybody knows that. ABBA or Queen, and they do the songs of those bands. So, I'm doing different things like that. I spend more time outdoors. I spend more time with my dog. I spend more time doing calm things that help me stay regulated. Um, and it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that's going to take time. And as I'm taking the time to regulate my nervous system, I'm living a simpler life. You have to stay focused on what you're doing and get into the flow state. Like, I started painting, and I can sit here and paint. And when I'm doing that, I'm enjoying what I'm doing and not thinking about all the crap that you think about in life. And I just find that that's so helpful. So now that I'm figuring out how to do this, then now how am I going to um, maintain this for the future? So I have 5 points here. My first one is being more intentional with my time. Rather than sitting here scrolling constantly at night, I'm not online hardly at all. I'll stop on Facebook a bit and I'll scroll a bit. I'm usually doing some things that are productive. I'm learning. I am, um, doing crafts. I'm watching TV. I'm spending time with the dog. I'm doing housework. I'm just doing other things. I may, one evening I may go out and do painting classes. That's something that I've gotten into. Or I'll go and do, different things I haven't done. um, this is giving me more calm in my life because I'm doing calming activities. Whereas before, my brain couldn't calm down enough to do calming activities. So it's been a a lot of work, but it has been so well worth it. So that first one is being more intentional with your time. I do have notes here, so that's why I'm looking down. So being more intentional with your time. And the next one is being more focused on the calm and slow living. Focus on what you're doing and taking your mind off of all that stuff and just really being in the moment. Enjoying little things, going, when people say take time to smell the roses, they really mean just take the time to do these little things and really embrace the things, not not be rushing through life constantly. Rushing isn't good for anybody. Everybody's so busy, they're going here and doing this and doing that, and they don't take time and they're just exhausted, and that's not good for anybody. It's really hard on your mental health when you're not taking the time to be calm and, you know, just be doing things for yourself. It's important to do things for you because you are, the only person that's there at the end of your life is you. And then the third thing is, I did part of this, is finding joy in the little things, really being focused on those little things. When I'm out walking the dog, I'll be looking at flowers. I'll take pictures of flowers. I'll stop and say hi to my neighbors. Um, I might notice a little rock or something. When we go to the beach, it's not just, walking along the beach, it's looking down at the sand and looking for little treasures, little rocks and pieces of beach glass and stuff like that. It's taking the time just to be calm and, intentional and just really focused on the little things. Because at the end of the day, it is the little things that actually make your life better. You remember these little moments in time, these make them memories. And then another thing I'm going to be doing is finding more friends, more mindful friends, more friends that are, at the same point where I am in my life. I've had to get rid of a lot of friends. They were toxic, they weren't aligned with where I was going in life. And I had to end the friendships. It was negative, it was toxic, it wasn't good for me, it was not healthy for me. So I had to make the decision to end these friendships. I ended my friendship with somebody who I'd been friends with for over 50 years because it wasn't healthy for me. That hurt a lot. But I had to do it for me. I had to do it for myself and my well being. And then the last one is to keep learning about nervous system, keep learning about simple living, keep associating the two together and They will tie together and you can stem off of each of them. Keep learning a bit more about nervous system and how to regulate it when things go wrong, how not to be so reactive, um, how to not let other people bother you and stuff. That's a lot of energy and focus to do that. So I do plan on keeping on learning about stuff like that. And then the slow living, simple living, just finding more activities to do, finding more people that are into that type of a lifestyle, and getting to know new people and getting, having new friends. So on that note, those are my 5 things: being more intentional with time, being more focused on the calm and slow living, find joy in the little things, find more like minded friends, and keeping learning, exploring, and experiencing through slow living. This is where my life is going, and this is my direction. Because this is the last video of this series, um, I would like to know from you guys, would you like to hear more about nervous system stuff? Would you like to hear more about simple living and what that looks like? Would you like to know a lot more about slow living? Whichever it is, drop it down in the comments, please. Let me know. Nervous system, put nervous system. Slow living, put slow living. Simple living, put simple living down in the comments so I can try to make content that resonates with people. Um, Now that this is over, I am going to be trying. Right now, I'm sick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I have really bad chest congestion and sinuses. So once I'm starting to feel better, I'm going to try to do more lives and take things from my comments and start doing videos on those, and really build a community and a really nice community for people to come together. Um, Hi, Irgurars. I am from Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. Whereabouts are you from? Um, so I would really like your input if you want, anything to be spoken about, me to be talking about in these areas. I really want my channel to be positive and helping other people. That's um, where I really come out of myself, is trying to help other people live a better life, a more calm life, and share my experiences about trauma, about nervous system, and just figuring out this simple living thing. So I really appreciate everybody coming on. I can feel that my throat's getting all dry here, and I need to go and drink some tea. So let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions on future content, I would love to hear it down below. And thank you so much for stopping on. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Love you guys. Bye bye.